David, well, we're 24 hours out almost to the big time. How successful has this campaign been for Duco Events, Team Parker, and preparations for the big fight?
I think the campaign has been 100% successful to date, but the job isn't done until the fight is over. In terms of all the preparations, commercially, promotionally, the things I worry about, bank accounts, making sure we get paid, sponsorship, TV deals, a balanced panel of referees and judges so we get a fair judging panel. That's all gone really well, it's under control. The training environment, the nutrition, the massage, the psychological preparation, the sparring, that environment that Kevin Barry looks after, that's all gone swimmingly well and is on song. And Joseph is feeling as good as he ever has. So the whole team can say we've left no stone unturned. So there are no excuses. And Joseph knows it's now his responsibility to win the fight because there are no excuses. So the only way Joshua wins is if Joshua is the better boxer on the day. And you know, if that happens, we can be at peace because we've done our best.
We have last night we saw you and Eddie Hearn in a different way, in a different light. We have this perception, or there is a public perception, that you guys fight a lot, but you're not, you're mates.
Yeah. Look, Eddie's a good guy. He's a good operator. We get on well. We're pretty friendly. We have a bit of banter and the odd joke. Our job is to promote the fight and garner media coverage, and so sometimes we'll have a bit of a go at each other, but the reality is we have to work well together because we're in a joint venture promotion across 2 countries across the world, turning over tens of millions of dollars. And it's good that we get on because it means that we haven't had any disagreements, and I've had to sign a lot of major contracts for this, but we're working well together, but we also have a bit of fun at the same time.
Yeah. Can you talk us through the business indicators for this particular fight? I know, never mind the percentage, but in terms of pay-per-view and also the crowd that's turning up, how's that going for the business plan that you and Eddie put together before the fight?
Well, we're ahead of budget on most items. You know, international TV, it's going to be shown in more than 100 countries. The ticket gate is pretty much sold out with nearly 80,000 fans coming. Sponsorship's been good. The biggest variable left is household pay-per-view in the UK. That can be very big. It's hard to predict. Most of it comes in today and tomorrow, the pay-per-view buys. But the best predictor is how the tickets sell. And if you get big ticket sales, generally you get bigger pay-per-view. So Eddie and I are very confident that this really is one of the bigger boxing events of our generation, and it's already broken a few records. Biggest indoor boxing event in world history, fastest selling event for Principality Stadium, biggest single payday for one performance by a New Zealand athlete, and also probably biggest joint venture contract for a New Zealand company for a single sporting event.
So you have single-handedly manufactured a lot of success for a lot of people in this fight, including Joe, of course, and Duco Events. Where does this rate in terms of your personal achievement?
This would have to be the biggest event I've ever promoted or co-promoted. It truly is a global event, one of the biggest sporting events of the year. So, you know, there's some satisfaction because at the beginning, I did have doubts, and Eddie was not sure about the fight because not as many people knew who JoshuaParker was. So we devised a provocative strategy to get Joseph media coverage in the UK. It involved me having to say things that were a bit uncomfortable, and I copped a lot of criticism, but to set a goal, work out the steps, and then ignore the noise and the criticism and execute that plan, and for it to be actually happening, there's a sense of satisfaction for me. Like, I guess when a sculptor creates a sculpture, an event is something that's fleeting, but similarly, it feels good that that we're here and Joseph has the opportunity to try and unify the division, which is his goal. So it's a big team effort, but for me personally, I've got a quiet satisfaction about getting here.
All right, and you're in that confidence, within that confidence, you believe that Joe will do the business tomorrow?
I feel that JoshuaParker will win the fight, and I could be wrong, but my intuitive gut feeling says that JoshuaParker is going to win the fight.
That's despite Eddie saying last night in public that he thinks this guy will win the fight within 6 rounds.
That's what Eddie said, but there's something, for me, there's a feeling in the air, so we're confident.
It's got to be more than a feeling. Is there something else other than a feeling there, David?
We've done all the preparation on all aspects. Joseph's feeling good. We've had whole nation of Samoa praying for us, and it feels like destiny.
Right. Have you heard from the New Zealand government?
I have not.
All right. Samoan government?
Yep, we've had a written message from the Prime Minister of Samoa, and also I think he had a telephone conversation with JoshuaParker, and we're very grateful to Samoa and for their support. To have a whole country behind you, Joseph takes that responsibility seriously, and also all the New Zealanders who've supported it along the way too.
Right. Quite aside, it seems like that Duker events and matchroom boxing get on quite well as the 2 boxes. We have said to Anthony Joshua, win or lose, we'd like to invite you to Samoa. What's your perception on something like that?
I think it would be wonderful if Anthony Joshua visited Samoa, and it would boost Samoa's profile in world media and probably build tourism, and I think it would be a great thing. Right.
All right, let's focus on Joseph himself, 26-year-old. It's incredible the responsibility and the expectations carried on by young shoulders for the 2 nations and for Samoans and Kiwis around the world.
Yes, and I think he shoulders it very well. It is a big responsibility, but he's at peace with it, he's used to it, and he's relaxed about it, and he respects it.
How much has Joe grown in this campaign as opposed to campaigns a year ago, maybe?
I think he's found his feet in terms of confidence, and he's a man in control, and he's focused on the one goal, his responsibility tomorrow night to beat Anthony Joshua.
So obviously, what does success look like for you tomorrow night? Can you explain that?
Well, I think, to put it simply, success is a win. But I think even because we've done everything we can, even if the worst happened and we didn't win, I think the team will be at peace because we did everything we could. But ultimate success is to beat Anthony Joshua, and I'm hoping that we can stop him in the middle rounds.
So you're predicting the ideal is to win in the middle rounds?
Stoppage or knockout in the middle rounds is what I'm predicting.
And if it goes 12, you're confident the neutral referees will do their job?
Yep. I think the panel's pretty good, the judges are good. If it goes 12 rounds and Joe's the clear winner on points, then my belief is we'll get the win.
All right. David Higgins, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. Thank you. Cheers.
Awesome. Thanks, mate.
For coming in.